The first 7 minutes of today's broadcast was jammed by some unknown party. For a time I have edited it out.
DPRK has never changed, and on the contrary, is revised and supplemented more viciously as the days go by. Recently alone, the U.S. hostile policy towards the DPRK to destroy it politically, isolate economically, and overpower militarily, and its subsequent movements now lead to a serious state no longer can be overlooked. Concerning this, the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, representing the unanimous will of our party, state, army, and people, clarifies our principled stand on the U.S. hostile policy towards the DPRK. The United States should make a bold political decision to totally withdraw its anachronistic hostile policy towards the DPRK and all the hostile measures before it is too late. It should have a correct viewpoint and stand on our nuclear deterrent and refrain from foolish acts of insisting that preferential nuclear abandonment is the keynote of its hostile Korea policy. The United States should immediately stop the groundless human rights racket against us, conducted as a part of the new hostile policy towards the DPRK. Nowhere in the world can be found such a social system as a peculiar socialist system centered on the popular masses, where the human rights, the basic rights of human beings, are fully ensured. The more desperately the United States attempts to realize its ambition to abandonment of our nukes with brigandish logic, impair the image and system of our dignified republic with a deceptive human rights racket, and intentionally create grave fears of war on the Korean Peninsula under an unreasonable pretext of provocation and threat, the more self-contradictory contradiction it will face, and the more miserable its future towards the downhill will be. The United States should give up its worn-out hostile policy as early as possible before it is too late, and adopt a realistic new policy. It would be useful for the national interest of the United States and security of its mainland. Our army and people, vigorously advancing with confidence in final victory, will never tolerate but totally destroy the U.S. hostile policy towards the DPRK, the statement stressed.
Respected Kim Jong-un received the reply message sent by Kim Ma-Lis-Son, General Secretary of the Central Committee of the Lao People's Revolutionary Party and President of the Lao People's Democratic Republic on the 12th. The message expressed deep thanks to Kim Jong-un, first Secretary of the Workers' Party of Korea and first Chairman of the National Defense Commission of the DPRK, for his warm congratulations and best wishes on the occasion of his 78th birth anniversary. Expressing the belief that the traditional friendly and cooperative relations between the two parties, governments, and peoples of the two countries would continue to be strengthened and developed invariably, the message wished to Kim Jong-un good health and happiness as well as great success in his noble cause.
Revolutionary activities of respected Supreme Commander Kim Jong-un were reported abroad between the 7th and 11th. The Chinese Hong Kong Phoenix Satellite Television and the websites Global Network, News Network, Reference News Network, and China Network reported the news that Kim Jong-un appreciated the performance of the art schools selected at the first contest of art schools of the Korean People's Army. The websites loved his photographs. The Chinese Liaoning Daily and website Northeast News Network, the Indian newspapers Hindu, Hindustan Times, and Statesman, the Iranian newspaper Iran News, and the internet homepage of the Nigerian National Committee for the Study of the Tzuchi Idea ran the news that Kim Jong-un visited Kim Il-sung University of Politics and participated in the election of delegates to the Supreme People's Assembly together with the servicepersons of the Korean People's Army. The internet homepages of the Brazilian Committee for Solidarity with the DPRK and the Nigerian National Committee for the Study of the Tzuchi Idea along with the news of its guidance of the flight training of Unit 2620 of the Air and Anti-Aircraft Force of the Korean People's Army, honored with the title of Osung-led 7th Regiment.
Foreign mass media continue to report of respect to Kim Jong-un's election as deputy to the Supreme People's Assembly of the DPRK between March 9th and 11th. The news, illustrated with photographs of his revolutionary activities, was reported by the Chinese newspapers Jilin Newspaper and Heilongjiang Daily, an internet homepage Northeast Network, the Mongolian newspaper Udrin Sonan, the Vietnamese newspaper Hanoi Moi and VN Express, and other internet news services and newspapers, the Iranian Fars News Agency, the Myanmar newspaper Sandache Nezin, and the Turkish newspaper Today's Zaman, under different titles including Leader Kim Jong-un elected deputy to the Supreme People's Assembly with 100% support. The news was reported by the Chinese Beijing Daily, the Liberation Daily, and the Liaoning Daily, the Russian newspapers Rossiyskaya Gazeta, Kommersant, and Komsomolskaya Pravda, and internet news services Gazeta.ru, Anta.ru, and Ultra.ru, the Vietnamese newspaper Vietnam News, the Iranian newspaper Iran News, the Indian Zee News Television, and newspapers Hindustan Times, Times of India, Indian Express and Statesman, the Malaysian newspaper Star, the Myanmar newspaper New Light of Myanmar, the Indonesian newspaper Kompas, the British Reuters and newspaper Independent, the Qatari Al Jazeera satellite television, the South African newspaper Pretoria News, the Tunisian African News Agency, the French AFP, and the US UPI.
The Austrian Preparatory Committee for Celebrating the Day of the Sun was recently formed in Vienna. The Preparatory Committee decided to give wide publicity to the sacred revolutionary life and immortal exploits of the great leader President Kim Il-sung and hold various political events on the occasion of the Day of the Sun, his birth anniversary.
President Pyongyang, in response to the policy of the Workers' Party of Korea on afforestation of the whole country, the Central District is arousing inhabitants in the residential quarters to plant different kinds of fruit trees and other trees of good species around the apartment houses, according to the features of their quarters. Ryukpo District is planting thousands of saplings, including Pyongyang maple, in line with its conditions with mountains. It also plants thousands of poplar trees of new species along the railways, adding beauty to the surrounding landscape.
The State Stamp Bureau of the DPRK issued 5 new individual stamps. The stamps have pictures of the apartment houses for educators of Kim Il-sung University and the Ongyu Children's Hospital, ensured with high formative and artistic architectural effects and convenience in life. The apartment houses and hospital were built last year. The stamps have also pictures of Korean wrestling, sedum, archery, and horse riding the Korean people enjoyed from olden times.
The South Korean Council of Christian Churches demanded an end to the adoption of the North Human Rights Act on the 12th, according to CBS of South Korea. The council said that adoption of the North Human Rights Act, pushed forward by the regime and the National Assembly, contains a very serious issue that may aggravate South-North conflicts and ignite war on the Korean Peninsula. It is most important for confidence building between the South and the North to stop war drills and slanders and have dialogue, the council stressed.
According to the South Korean internet newspaper Voice of People, civic and public organizations in the Gwangju area of South Korea held a press conference in Gwangju on the 11th in demand of the dismantlement of the intelligence service and the Emergency Council Against Intelligence Services Politicking and Interference in Presidential Election held a candlelight meeting around the Gwanghwamun in Seoul, condemning the fabrications by the intelligence service. That day, organizations in South Jeolla province held a press conference in Deosu City in the province and demanded dissolution of the intelligence service.
Peruvian personages expressed full support to the just cause of the Workers' Party of Korea and the Korean people. At a meeting held in Lima City on the 7th, on the occasion of the 51st founding anniversary of the People's Front of Workers, Peasants, and Students of Korea, and on the occasion of the March 8th International Women's Day, speakers said Korea, which manufactured and orbited artificial Earth satellites by its own strength and technique, is an invincible state with self-defensive capabilities to safeguard the destiny of the country and nation from the aggressive movements of any enemy. They said in the DPRK, women are splendidly fulfilling and playing their responsibilities and roles as performers of revolution and masters of the society with equal rights with men. They praised the immortal exploits of Kang Ban-seok, mother of Korea, and the anti-Japanese heroine Kim Jong-suk, who devoted themselves to the women's emancipation movement.
The press statement of a spokesman for the strategic force of the Korean People's Army, the United States should get rid of its bad habit of slandering others groundlessly, was distributed as official document as 2014-159 of the UN Security Council on the 11th.
The Switzerland-Korea Committee and the Swiss Group for the Study of the Tutsi Idea issued a joint statement on the 5th in support of the press statement of a spokesman for the strategic force of the Korean People's Army. The United States should get rid of its bad habit of slandering others groundlessly. The statement said, the strategic force units of the Korean People's Army successfully conducted a rocket launching exercise according to their regular training plan. The United States, however, impudently slanders the exercise as provocation and threat. Moreover, the United States justifies the key resolve and Seoul Eagle joint military exercises staged in other countries as defensive and annual ones, while slandering the just self-defensive exercise of the DPRK conducted in its own territory as provocation. It is a shameless American-style standard and an arrogant act of the United States which likes to provoke others and praise itself. The statement fully supported the press statement and bitterly condemned the U.S. provocation and threat against the DPRK.
The China News Service and Xinhua News Agency, the Russian Tartas, and the Japanese Busy Press on the 12th repeated the press statement of the spokesman for the North Side delegation to the North-South high-level contact titled, "They must not wag their tongues senselessly if they sincerely value the improvement of North-South relations." And that's the end of the news read by Chae Song-nam and Kim Seon-ok. This is Voice of Korea.
Please appreciate a female chorus, Paean to the Motherland.
Call
1,000 Juni ballooning. March the 16th this year is the significant 91st anniversary of the 1,000 Juni ballooning made by the great President Kim Il-sung. I visited the Manyongdae Revolution Museum on the occasion of the anniversary. Together with other visitors, attentively looked around the historical materials and remains displayed in each room before entering room number 4. Displayed in the room were historical materials concerning President Kim Il-sung's 1,000 Juni ballooning. In front of a large electronic road map of the 1,000 Juni ballooning, lecturer Kim Jinok sat.
아버님이신 김용직 선생님으로부터 애국주의 교양을 받으시며 성장하신 위대한 수령님께서 팔도구 수학교사를 앞둔
The great leader, President Kim Il-sung, grew up receiving education in patriotism from his father, Kim Seung-jae. One day, in 1923, before his graduation from the Badago Primary School, Kim Il-sung, who was thinking of the future of his son, asked him what he would do after graduating from the primary school and said, "You'd better study in Korea from now on. A man of Korea must have a good knowledge of Korea. While studying in the home village, you must experience the miserable life of the Korean people. Then you will know well what you should do." President Kim Il-sung set out on the 1,000 Juni ballooning on March the 16th, 1923, amid the send-off of his parents and friends. More than half of the 400 kilometers he had to walk with the steep mountains with beasts of prey prowling about even in broad daylight. The mountains and rivers were still quiet and beautiful. But seeing the miserable people in the homeland drowning under the rule of the Japanese imperialists, President Kim Il-sung made a formal resolve to liberate the occupied country as early as possible. Making the 1,000 journey from Badago in northeast China to Manyongdae, he had a better understanding of the reality of Korea and remembered the instructions of his father that he must have a good knowledge of Korea. Listening to the lecture, I solemnly looked at the old painting, the great leader Kim Il-sung arriving at the native home in Manyongdae after the 1,000 journey for learning. President Kim Il-sung arrived at his native home in Manyongdae around sunset on March the 29th, 1923, 14 days after his departure from Badago. I was greatly moved to see the immortal image of President Kim Il-sung, who was brightly smiling, taking the hands of his grandma, who ran out into the courtyard barefoot. Recalling that time, President Kim Il-sung said that 1,000 journey was a great school that let him know his homeland and his fellow countrymen. After coming to his home village, Manyongdae, he attended the Tangbuk school and fostered his great ambition to achieve independence of the country. I continued my visit to the museum, feeling anew that prospering Korea today is possible thanks to the 1,000 journey for learning made by the great President Kim Il-sung and his team. So far, you've been listening to an account under the title 1,000 Journey for Learning. This is Voice of Korea. The song Star of Korea is an immortal revolutionary hymn created by the revolutionary poet Kim Seok, representing the unanimous mind of the Korean people respecting the great leader Kim Il-sung as the son of the nation in the 1920s, when the anchor of the Korean Revolution was lifted.
Enjoy your meal, chorus.
7th Regiment stands before us, 追次. Now you'll enjoy the violin concerto, Family of the General.
follow or make for country.
Perfect unity. show your female sextet. The masters of this land say.
With this, we conclude the English language service of Voice of Korea from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. Voice of Korea presents its English language service for Southeast Asia between 5 and 6 hours UTC on 13,650 kHz and 15,105 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 6,185 kHz and 9,850 kHz. For Middle East and Northern Africa, between 16 and 17 hours UTC on 9,890 kHz and 11,645 kHz, and between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 9,875 kHz and 11,635 kHz. For Southern Africa, between 19 and 20 hours UTC on 7,210 kHz and 11,910 kHz. And for Central and South America, between 4 and 5 hours UTC on 11,735 kHz, 13,750 kHz, and 15,180 kHz, and between 10 and 11 hours UTC on 6,170 kHz and 9,435 kHz. Goodbye, this is Pyongyang.